All right, Larry Krueger here with a 49er video on a Sunday brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Get some brisket chili. Tell them Krug sent you. All right, can the 49ers beat the Buccaneers on this Sunday? Tony Romo and Jim Nantz will be on the TV side. And we'll have Justin Allegri and Tim Ryan on the radio side. The Niners are 4-1. The Bucs are 4-1. Both teams are incredibly banged up with very good players out for both teams. Niners are 3-0 on the road. They're 3-0 under Mac Jones. It's going to be an 80-degree day in Florida. The game has been flexed to the outside, the late window, so it will be a 125 West Coast start, 425 in the East. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup. Niners will be in the red jerseys today. Buccaneers, for the first time all year, Buccaneers will be in the whites. The big question of the day is, can Mac Jones keep it rolling on the road against this Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Todd Bowles, blitz-heavy defense? That's really the question of the day. Jones is 3-0 at the Niners. He's averaging 301.7 yards per game passing. It leads the NFL. He's coming into this game battling knee and oblique injuries. The Niners offensive line has allowed 7 sacks this season, 6 fewest in the NFL. But he's also not been blitzed very much. Jones has been blitzed 18% of the time this year. That's the second lowest rate in the NFL. Last season, when Tampa played the Niners, Bowles blitzed Brock Purdy 44% of the time. So that's the big question of the day. When Mac Jones gets blitzed, can he handle it? When he's been blitzed this year, he's completed only 54% of his passes. That's 28th in the NFL. Jones against the blitz this year, 5.1 yards per attempt. That's 29th. 5.9 yards per completion. That's 30th. Tampa's got a 53% pressure rate on blitzes. That's the third highest rate in the NFL. And they blitz about 34% of the time on average, which is the sixth highest rate in football. How Jones handles the blitz will probably determine if the 49ers win this game. Second question today, can the Niners run the ball at all? Niners have the 28th rated rush offense. They average 85 rushing yards per game. McCaffrey's averaging 3.1 a carry this year. His career average is 4.6. So now here's Todd Bowles' run defense, and from 2019 through 2025, they've ranked number 1 in the NFL in opponent rush success rate and number 1 in the NFL in EPA per rush. You got Vita Vea in the middle. He controls the A-gap. The one thing that's interesting in this game, can the Niners run to the perimeter? Seattle did that last week and averaged 6.1 yards per carry. Can the Niners do that this week? That could be a huge factor in this game. The third factor, there's always an underrated player that you got to stop in this game. It's Sterling Shepard, the wide receiver for Tampa Bay. He's a dependable possession wide receiver. He's got elite hands, great ball skills. He's a major problem on third downs and in the red zone. So stopping Sterling Shepard on some of those key downs is going to be one of the keys to success in this game. By the way, how good is Robert Saleh? In his final 17 games with the Jets, Saleh had the number 1 defense in the NFL by points per drive and EPA per play. In the 17 games the Jets have played since Saleh left, their defense is 32nd in the NFL in those same metrics. That's dead last. They went from first to last without Robert Saleh. The Niners defense, by comparison, has gone from 29th last year in points allowed per game under Nick Sorensen to 6th in points per game allowed, giving up 19.6. So Robert Saleh has made a huge difference for the 49ers. Big question today, can the Niners stop or slow down the rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka? Egbuka comes into today averaging 17.8 yards per reception, 25 receptions, 445 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns, and 38 targets for Egbuka in the first 5 games. Who do the Niners put on Egbuka? I mean, that's one of the big questions of the day. Mayfield and Egbuka have connected on 8 of 13 passes of 20-plus air yards, so they like to go down the field to Egbuka and Will. The other big question for the Niners, there is no Mike Evans, there is no Chris Godwin, but can the Niners defend the tight end, Cade Otton? Otton had a great game last week against Seattle. The Niners defense is 27th in the NFL as far as giving up pass plays to tight ends over the past month. So can they defend Cade Otton, especially on third down, especially in the red zone? Niners are going to be a little thin on the defensive line. They only have 8 defensive linemen suited up. Bryce Huff, Jordan Elliott, Kalia Davis, Mikael Williams. Those are your ones. And then Sam O, Alfred Collins, C.J. West, and Trevis Gibson got the elevation off the practice squad. Those are your 2. So the Niners have gone into games with 10 defensive linemen. They're going to go into this one with 8. By the way, the Niners are 7-13 without Nick Bosa. One guy who I do expect to have a big game for the 49ers is Jake Tonjes. Over the last 2 weeks, the Niners have targeted Tonjes 16 times. He's caught 10 balls for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now he's going up against a Tampa defense that gave up 2 touchdown games to Dallas Goedert and A.J. Barner in the last couple of weeks. If you look at Tonjes's target share, week 3, it was 13.2%. Week 2. Week 3, it was 7.9%. Week 4, it was 13.5%. And then last week against the Rams, 22.9%. So a major jump forward last week against the Rams, and I expect that to continue today. One of the reports this morning is that the 49ers have called Green Bay kicking tires on their defensive end, Kingsley Enagbare. Enagbare is a very athletic edge rusher who played at South Carolina. You know, I just find it really hard to believe that Green Bay would do anything to help the 49ers. They're both competing to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. You know, I just find it very hard to believe that that the Packers would in any way help the 49ers get an edge player that they so desperately need. But that report is out there today. Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo are also reporting that the 49ers are, quote, on the hunt for edge rusher help. The Jaguars and Eagles are also 2 teams that are also seeking defensive end additions. According to reports, the Jets could be in fire sale mode. And, of course, they have Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens. Of course, in addition to their offensive stars, Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Diana Rossini is reporting that the Niners are seeking a defensive end and will contact Trey Hendrickson. So a lot to kind of keep in mind as the November 4th NFL trade deadline draws closer. That's week 9. It's week 6 right now. As far as transactions, the Niners activated Malik Mustafa, but Tig Brown, Jair is going to start at safety next to Marquise Siegel. So they're going to work in Malik Mustafa slowly. The Niners, as we said, elevated Trevis Gibson. That was one of their moves. They also waived defensive end Robert Beal Jr. So the Niners did not elevate a defensive tackle. There was a lot of thought that maybe Sebastian Valdez or Evan Anderson would get the elevation. So that means Kalia Davis, C.J. West, Alfred Collins, all these guys who are not 100% are good to go in this game. Adam Schefter is reporting that Brock Purdy with the toe, there's a chance that Purdy can return in week 7 against Atlanta. Jawan Jennings, who's got a hip, an ankle, and a shoulder injury, is expected to play today. Ricky Pearsall is out with a knee injury, though Pearsall may return next week against Atlanta as well. Look for Kendrick Bourne to have another big day. He had 10 catches for 142 yards last week against the Rams, and clearly Mac Jones likes to look for Kendrick Bourne. We should tell you this 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. Couple more notes before we wrap up here. Curtis Rourke, the Niners rookie quarterback out of Indiana. What a weekend it was for Indiana. They upset Oregon on the road. But now Curtis Rourke, the Niners, according to Kyle Shanahan, plan to open his NFI return window soon. So that will give him a 3-week window to practice with the team, and then they'll decide right there if he's going to be called off the list and NFI list and be activated, or he will go on season-ending IR, and that will wrap up his year. A couple other notes to keep track of. Baker Mayfield, 18-31-1 against the spread as a favorite. So he hasn't necessarily been great as a favorite. 8-8 against the spread as a favorite with Tampa Bay. As far as statistical breakdowns in this thing, Tampa's got the number 7 offense. They average 27 points a game. The 49ers have the number 6 defense. They allowed 19.6 a game, so something's got to give. This is also the Niners have the number 1 pass offense in football, and they're going up against a Tampa Bay team that's 20th in pass defense and with multiple hurt cornerbacks. So if there's an advantage in this game, it might be Mac Jones in the passing game against this Buccaneers challenge pass defense that got ripped apart last week by Sam Darnold. The other key thing to look for in this game is who wins the time of possession. These teams, Niners are 6th in time of possession, Tampa's 5th. These teams both love to possess the football and play complementary football. Can the Niners possess the ball against a team like Tampa, who is also really, really good at doing exactly that? All right, let's get into the final part of this video. How do the Niners win today in Tampa? Because I do think there's a path to victory. First of all, the number one thing, avoid turnovers on offense. Why? Tampa rarely turns it over. They're like the 2nd or 3rd best team in the league at not turning the ball over on offense. So you can't turn it over. If they're not going to turn it over, you can't turn it over. So avoid turnovers on offense. That's number 1. 2, throw the ball to Christian McCaffrey in the flat. Tampa Bay is giving up the 3rd most yards to running backs. They're not good at defending the running back out of the backfield. Throw the ball to CMC. He's the best receiving running back in football, and you got a major mismatch here. Also, throw the ball a lot to Kendrick Bourne. The Buccaneers have struggled to defend opposing wideouts, and throw the ball to Jake Tonjes in the red zone. They have a really hard time defending the tight end in the red zone. That's number 2. Number 3, get the ball out quickly. You got to deal with Todd Bowles' blitz packages. He's got Yaya Diaby and Hassan Reddick off the edges, but he will come at you with a whole array of blitzes. And when he looks at Mac Jones's numbers against the blitz, you can bank that that's going to be a major theme of what the Bucs do today. So how do the Niners deal with the blitz? Can they avoid mistakes? Can they get the ball out quickly? Can Jones persevere? Can he stay under control? Can he stay calm against the blitz? There can be a lot of pressure in this game today. How does Jones react to that pressure is probably going to determine who wins. Run to the edges. Seattle did it last week. They averaged 6.1 a carry. Do that. Run to the edges. Stay out of the A gaps. That's where Vita Vea lives. Run to the edges. They're not as fast a Tampa defense as it used to be. Number 5, don't lose the game on special teams. The kickoff and punt return coverage units have got to be better. They've been horrible to this point. They have to be better. Defensively, number 6, get hands up against Baker Mayfield. He throws from a lower trajectory. He's a smaller guy. Get your hands in the passing lanes. Bat down a pass or 2 against Baker. Number 7, defend Rachaad White out of the backfield. With no Bucky Irving, they're going to throw it to Rachaad White out of the backfield. He's really good at catching the ball. Number 8, and this might be one of the most important things on defense, double Emeka Egbuka. He's a rookie, but treat him like a star. Challenge him at the line of scrimmage. Double him all over the field. If they have Evans and Godwin, you couldn't do that, but they don't have Evans and Godwin, so you can. Double Egbuka and treat him like a star that he is. Number 9, hug up tight on Cade Otton and Sterling Shepard on key 3rd downs and in the red zone. They can't run by you, but they're great ball skill receivers, and they're great possession receivers. Don't challenge those guys off the line. Don't give them a free release. Hug up on them and make them run by you. Close down that space. Don't give up plays behind Shepard and Otton. And number 10, you have to interrupt Baker Mayfield's rhythm. He completed 88% of his passes last week against Seattle on the road. It's the number 1 key in the game. He comes into this game hotter than heck. You got to disrupt his rhythm. If he stays in rhythm, the Niners are going to lose. If the Niners can interrupt that rhythm, the Niners have a great chance to win. So there you go. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Sleeper. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube. And I'll give you 49ers 28, Buccaneers 24. Niners roll to 5-1. And once again, thanks for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.